Hey YouTube, it's Annabelle. So I wanted to do a difference video between my first pregnancy with my daughter and this, my second pregnancy with baby Tiger. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of do the major differences that have stuck out and then like some similarities. So anyways, I'm just going to get right down to it. Okay, so with my daughter, the most significant difference from the beginning of the pregnancies where it took us 2 years to conceive my daughter, and we did have a loss before we found out that we were pregnant with her. So our daughter was our rainbow baby. So after almost 2 years of trying for her, we thought that this time around it was going to be the same, or at least we didn't expect it to happen right away. However, if you've been following me, you know that this pregnancy, it took us 2 cycles of trying to conceive before we found out that we were pregnant with baby number 2. So that is like one of the most significant differences between the pregnancies, is it took us so long to get pregnant with my daughter, and it didn't take very long this time around. And just like with this second pregnancy, it seemed like it happened very quickly and that it was almost too good to be true. And that kind of goes along with the same with my daughter's pregnancy. After we had that loss before her pregnancy also seemed like it was too good to be true. And I pretty much spent her entire pregnancy worrying. And I didn't want to believe that everything was going to be okay. With her pregnancy, I was stuck in a, well, I'm not going to like get my hopes up because, you know, you could lose the baby at any time. And so that is a major difference, too, because I actually felt more bonded to this baby number 2, than I did with my daughter, which sounds completely crazy because usually it takes longer with the second baby to actually like feel that bond and connection and like you're going to be a mother and things like that. But since we suffered the loss before we found out we were pregnant with my daughter, it was touchy feelings all around. Probably the first 2 trimesters of my daughter's pregnancy were spent worrying that something was going to happen to the baby and things like that. So it was just filled with worry. And this time around, with baby number 2, we did have a few scares in the beginning, and if you followed me, you know that we had a scare at around 11 weeks. We didn't know if everything was going to be okay or not. And so that was scary, but I still felt like I was a mom. And I did have to realize again that I was pregnant and things like that, and that my daughter was going to have a sibling, and yes, we are going to have a baby, have our second baby. So I did have those realizations still throughout this second pregnancy. But it did feel like I've been bonded from the get-go with baby number 2. With my daughter's pregnancy, I was sick for the 2nd and 3rd trimesters. I was sick the entire time. Everyone told me that I was so very lucky not to be sick in the 1st trimester, and then it just hit me for the rest of the pregnancy. With this baby, I actually felt sick in the beginning, and it's been kind of here and there feeling sick kind of all the way through, but I'm not as sick this time. This time I am feeling things way sooner than I did with my first pregnancy, and I think that's just because I know what I'm like feeling, and I know what that sensation is and things like that. But yes, so with my daughter's pregnancy, I was scared, I was worried, I was trying to get as much advice from anybody and everybody who would give me advice. This time around, I'm more relaxed, I'm more informed, I'm educated, I'm confident going in, and it's very, 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 like, calm, I guess, as compared to my daughter's pregnancy. With my daughter's pregnancy, it just seemed like I was planning and preparing and researching and all that kind of stuff to get as much knowledge as possible. And this time, still, I am planning and preparing, and just this time it's basically going off of experience, knowing that every baby is different, so planning for this baby being 100% completely different than my daughter. But my research this time around is more like focused or more narrowed in onto certain topics. Whereas with my daughter, it was anything and everything that I could read on pregnancy, labor, delivery, early learning, all that stuff. Was just like, I just read everything, and I drove myself crazy reading everything. I read about stuff that could go wrong, like all that kind of stuff. And again, this time it's more just narrowed research on some topics that I'd like to know more about. And last time, with my daughter's pregnancy, I did work for somebody else, and this pregnancy I am a work-at-home mom. So that is a big difference between my last pregnancy and this pregnancy. Let's see. And I think that's it for the major differences. Food cravings are kind of looking like, especially the last few weeks, my food cravings have been looking exactly like my daughter's pregnancy. We didn't find out the gender with my daughter, and we didn't find out the gender with this baby either. We are equally excited though. With my daughter, it was, we're going to have a baby and we're starting our family and all that kind of stuff. And this time it's, my daughter is going to be an older sibling. We're going to have 2 kids. We cannot wait to meet him or her. It's just so very exciting. But I know we do still have a few weeks to go again, and I'll keep you guys updated on like my weekly pregnancy updates and vlogs and stuff about that, any like more differences that I can think of. But I am going to do a labor and delivery difference between baby number 1 and baby number 2, if there is a difference. So that will be an upcoming video. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. I was tired with my first pregnancy, and I was actually able to sleep. And it seems like this time around I'm more tired. I am getting good sleep. But after running around after my daughter and just like being a work-at-home mom is awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and I wouldn't change any part of it. But it has definitely changed like the whole pregnancy situation kind of thing. It was a whole lot easier to get out and about and things when the weather got cold when I was working outside of the house. Now that it's cold weather and we're in the last trimester, it's harder to get out, it's harder to get moving, so I have to really, really push myself during this pregnancy to stay active, keep stretching, get my body ready as much as I can prepare. And it's preparing itself with contractions and just gearing up for nursing and all that kind of stuff. So it's so very exciting. And like, I was talking to my husband last week about this, and I was just like, I think we're more excited about this one or like our daughter. And he was just like, I think it's like an equally excited. And I was like, I agree. Like, I feel so excited to have 2 kids and just to see how they're going to be, how different they're going to be, if anything is the same, like if they're going to look alike or just anything like that. It's just so exciting. But anyways, pregnancy is just, like, for me, a planning and preparing time, and just getting ready for what the rest of this year is going to bring with baby number 2. But yes, so anyways, any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, those are pretty much it for the major differences between pregnancies. Otherwise, pretty much everything else is the same. But yes, so anyways, you all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.